DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Building Your Business with KC and Brian B.
Or Running Your DJ Business with KC and Brian B.
I don't even know what this thing's called anymore. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
You guys in the dog days of summer sweltering in the humidity like we are?
It broke yesterday. It's I might actually have to wear long pants soon.
You're kidding.
No.
I don't know if you're a tennis guy, but did you hear about the match last night with Djokovic at all?
Did he play McEnroe?
No. But they like halfway through the match, his opponent basically said, "Hey, can I go change my clothes? Because I'm just sticky and it's gross." And that's never like happened in a tennis match. And
Really?
he was like, "Oh, I guess go ahead and go, switch it up." And the guy got killed anyway. But that's how humid it is.
That like,
I mean, it's been awful.
Tanya Harding and
I don't think it's that
remember
painful.
He complained about her laces on her skates.
Right.
Tanya Harding was the aggressor. Nancy Kerrigan was the one that got attacked.
Yeah. I don't think it was that aggressive. But
no, it wasn't that. I'm not talking about the beating.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the when she complained to the judges about how her skates were screwed up and she needed to start all over again.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's all.
Got it.
That may have been a little before your time, maybe.
It was. I think I was still in diapers. Yeah, totally.
Back in the day. So speaking about back in the day, we lost the bandit today. Very upset.
Are you? Yeah.
I am. I grew up. He was cool. Smokey and the Bandit was it. Burt Reynolds passed. He married the hottest woman in show business in the late 70s, early 80s, Lonnie Anderson from WKRP. I mean, that was a big deal. So not like Heather Locklear hot, but Heather Locklear is my girl. So I met her and she was doing these appearances in all these health club openings. I have to find the picture. You thought my shorts pictures were bad from Michael Buffer, me meeting Heather Locklear. I think I was like in 7th grade.
Wow.
Backs up to my knees. I put my arm around her like she was my girlfriend. We waited for like 2 hours for her to show up at this grand opening.
Wow.
She was TJ Hooker, baby. She was the hottest of the hot. So
nice.
It was crazy. It was crazy, man. She was it. So,
there you go.
So in other news, let's talk marketing first, and then we'll dive into social media.
Okay.
Colin Kaepernick back on everybody's news feed, unless you're chosen to tune out completely because of politics. But let me ask you this, and I'm going to ask you, I don't care about the politics. Nike.
Mm-hmm.
You saw what they did. They have him as a spokesperson. They in fact, I think tonight, Thursday night, if our ratings stink, it's because the NFL. But
it's on rain delay.
Is it? Okay. So they're supposedly running the commercial where they're using him as a spokesperson. I guess they've renewed his contract and or they signed a new contract with him, and they're essentially, I don't want to say bolstering, but they're in support. And again, I'm in full support of his message. I just don't care for when he's doing it, but I respect the First Amendment and the right that he has to do it.
Right.
So the question being is, are you more likely to purchase Nike or less likely to purchase Nike based on this? Or, you know what, I'm not even going to put you on the spot.
It's okay.
In general. Okay. Are you, like, do you care one way or another?
I'm indifferent. It doesn't make a difference either way. I don't really think that the political views of how they operate is going to affect my buying habits one way or another.
So do you feel that you're influenced at all by social media influencers, by people in the industry? Like if let's use Joe Bunn. He's got a cool product. His Visions DJ thing. Yeah. It's cool. You know, he's definitely, I would say, in the mobile DJ business, a decent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as is Mike Walter, Randy Bartlett, some of the others.
Yeah.
Including yourself, because that's why I go into Vibo. That's right, Vibo.io. No. But the question being is, are you, do you think in today's day and age that it has a big impact, or is it just maybe on the youth of America? What's your thoughts?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, there's definitely the influencer is still popular and still has sway, I believe. But I think as you get older, that tends to wane more and more. At least for me, it has. I'm not as influenced as much. I mean, if I go back to my teenage self and I saw Charles Barkley with the Nike shoes, and I guess at the time my hero was Magic Johnson, still kind of is, but of course I had the Converse shoes, but if they were wearing shoes today and endorsing stuff, would I go for it? Nah. I mean, there's nobody in the NBA that I would kind of go, oh, I got to have those shoes, because I don't know if it's partly because I don't care as much about those particular items, or if it's because I'm not as swayed as much. I would kind of lean towards both, to be honest with you.
What's a brand that you really are like, wow?
I mean, the only one I could think of, and it's just because of the fact that I get rewards for it, would be Delta. That's the only one I can think of that I've got brand loyalty to. But that's not because of it's so much better than the other. It just happens to be the one I picked because I picked it a while back, and that's the one I stick with. But outside of them,
why did you pick it? Were you flying it anyway? Was it the most convenient, the most cost effective?
In the places I was going at the time, it always had the most routes. Gotcha. So that was kind of why I went with them. It wasn't because the plane was any better. It wasn't because the rewards were so much better. It literally was because it had the most options for me, is why I went with them. So, I mean, that's the only brand I can say that I have complete brand loyalty to an extent.
Okay.
How about you? Do you have a brand that you just like, I have to be with that no matter what?
No. I mean, I'm not going to say that I don't think that I'm subconsciously influenced by people and such. And I know that there have been, products discussed and talked about on social media that from people that I respect and admire, that that I take the time to research in that. So if I see that, 4 or 5 DJs that I respect are giving great reviews, like to the Evolve 50s, for example, they're on my radar more so than the latest pair of QSC, like the Evolve 50. So Evolve 50s are right. JBL just released a set of speakers similar to the Evolve 50s. Do you know the name of them?
The Eon something has got to be right.
Okay, right. So, but are you guessing, or are you?
I'm guessing because I know that's one of their models they have, but I don't know which one.
Right, but I just saw it somewhere, and unfortunately, I saw it in passing.
Yeah,
or I got an email press release about it, or something along those lines. But it's the same thing. The latest QSC, it's a KL something probably.
Right.
But again, so I think that EV has done a good job of perhaps either utilizing the influencer, or maybe they just have a great product. Like the JBL Eons back in the day, like they were the first self-powered speaker that were relatively cost effective. And I think everybody had them in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that goes to like what we were talking about a little bit last week, which I was trying to make the point that I think reviews eventually are going to kind of go away from the standpoint of people you don't know. We're different in age, and we both have the same kind of philosophy that we're going to go with people we trust more than just going on. And I mean, it's not going to be something I'm more swayed by people that I really know saying that something is good than by, something I see online. Even if I saw 100 A+ reviews, if I don't trust the reviewer or I don't have a connection there, then it's not going to be something that I'm going to pay much attention to.
But
and it sounds like you're the same.
But does the job get done by the influencer? Does it put it on your radar? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the whole line. Like, let's face it. And again, I'm doing it based on age. Cindy Crawford, when I was in college doing Pepsi commercials, unbelievable. Like totally crazy, unbelievably hot, so on and so forth. Okay.
Your testosterone levels were higher then, though, right?
Yeah, but I still like Pepsi. So,
okay. But I mean, did that made you go try Coke all of a sudden?
It was Pepsi.
Oh, Pepsi. I'm sorry.
But again, part of it. See, the question is, what's news, what's not news? Because remember, there was like Pepsi Clear. That was a disaster. But the question, I don't know if anybody endorsed it or not. And and again, in Chicago, Air Jordan was Chicago, so the Air Jordans were it. And and I have to say, like right now, when I go in, I buy for comfort, style, and if it says Air Jordans, or if it says a Jordan, or if it says Keds on it, I really don't care.
Yeah,
like, I don't care
as long as it has Velcro. You're good.
Really, seriously.
You're getting there. You're going to be getting there
because you can't grow a beard. So don't start messing with me.
Oh man, but no, I really do think that it's more influencers are generally trying to go after the younger market, and by younger market, I'm talking like teenagers, like that 18 to 21 demographic is key, and that's what any advertiser will tell you that's the key demo.
And I think 25-54 female is as well.
Okay,
I mean, every radio station, like that's their target because that's just the way that it is. I mean, if you look at even New York, I would imagine if you go through it, there's going to be more stations geared toward female 25-54 than anything else because they have the largest number of possible advertisers, and that's who they're going after. So, and that's why you're hearing a lot of Pink on the radio and Goo Goo Dolls and Lady Gaga and things like that. So
sure.
So we'll see. I mean, it's hard to say that influencers don't influence us when, you look at Kylie Jenner and, in my opinion, the Kardashians in general, and they're famous for being famous. So not even, I think it may be because I'm no longer an athlete, that I'm not influenced by what other athletes wear.
Right.
And I couldn't tell you one athlete that wears Under Armour, but I'm sure there's probably 200 professional athletes that have deals with Under Armour, right?
Yeah, probably.
I know that Venus Williams is she's endorsing, or she's a spokesperson for Chase. I see her picture every time I go to a Chase ATM or go into the building. They've got her with a commercial of her putting her card in or whatever. I don't know if that's necessarily,
right.
I don't care one way or another, to be honest with you. So
yeah,
that's just me. So
yeah. Well, we'll see how this stuff with Nike goes down. I mean, they lost, what was it? I think I read 3.4 billion in one day.
20%. Their stocks dropped 20% yesterday.
I mean, I don't care what you say. You put a billion next to something, you're gonna notice it. I don't think that was something that, you know what? Let's go ahead and lose 3.4 billion today. I think it's a good idea. I don't think anybody goes with a marketing message hoping to lose 3.4 billion.
I'm not disagreeing. Not disagreeing whatsoever.
But at the end of the day, like any of those kind of people who make statements, I wonder how much of it is really because they're behind the issue. And I'm not saying that Nike isn't, or how much of it is to draw a media message. Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, there's no reason you can't do both. I mean,
absolutely. I totally agree.
And you know what? If they're gonna take it to the bank, which I think eventually they will. I think 6 months from now, you're going to see that it's bounced back. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I think it will, but then look at the NFL's viewership right now, which is just
right. But I mean, I guess my point is that anybody who takes a risk like that, and I guess for some that would be considered a risk because, oh my gosh, they're going to, all the people who are protesting it or whatever, or, burning Nike clothes. Like, I've seen that happen with so many companies and established companies like Disney, Chick-fil-A with the homosexual issues and stuff like that. Have any of those companies ever gone down because someone protested or because there was, all these people burning items or records or whatever? No, I mean, they've all it's a fad that happens. Yeah, maybe initially there's a little bit of a thing, but I guarantee you Nike's not going down because of this issue. There's no way. And the NFL for that matter won't either. They're going to be, they may not have made a certain amount in a period, but they're going to last this particular issue. I mean, I haven't seen one that's gone down because of it.
We haven't heard much from Hertz Rent-A-Car since O.J. Simpson killed everybody.
But I mean, it's still as viable. The only one where I could see where it seems to be the biggest issue because where if something happens like that's controversial are TV shows. They get canceled or,
Roseanne's probably the most topical example of that.
But very few industries are like that get rattled. So I say that to say that as a DJ company, that would, since we're kind of talking to DJs on Disc Jockey News tonight, if they took an issue with that, I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like you got to pick and choose your battles clearly, but if history shows you anything, I think that you would still make it, I guess.
Sure. Now, on the subject of taking risks, we can talk about the other person that's in the news right now is Frank Fertitta. Just dropped $25 million on his daughter's Las Vegas wedding reception, which had Bruno Mars as a headliner. They had Seal also perform, and the night before they had John Mayer. But where I say taking the risk was he purchased UFC in 2001 for $2 million, and then 15 years later sold it for $4 billion. Now, that is a pretty darn good return on investment. But I don't know if you've seen it, but the pictures from this wedding, there's really only one published so far, and it is spectacular. The picture of the room shot is just absolutely positive spectacular. So, and at first I started thinking that's a crazy amount of money, but I guess if you were to scale it, that if he's making $100 million a year, let's just say as an example, the question being is spending $25 million crazy? I think it's all scalable. So, if you've got it and you can't take it with you, then God bless you. So,
yeah, I mean, we all have different things that we spend our money on. And, if they want to spend it on a wedding, more power to them.
Sure. Absolutely.
And hopefully they'll be calling me.
Oh, they've already gotten married.
Oh, well,
it's over. You blew it. And
missed the opportunity.
You are no Bruno Mars, my friend.
No, apparently not.
No matter how much you comb that hair.
I couldn't even play the cocktail hour.
No,
John had me beat.
No, he played the rehearsal dinner.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, not the cocktail hour. Maybe that was Seal. His music's kind of cocktaily.
Yeah.
So that's all right. So let's see. Moving on, let's get into our topic, which is our topic is social media.
Part 2.
Yeah, because we had so many people reach out to us last week on questions about Instagram. And before we get into it, I shot you a note about Facebook. And again, it's a little bit of a one-sided note, but they just reported that 1 out of 4 Americans is walking away from their Facebook account and closing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to me to see if that's the case. Now, what isn't said is that this could have been a trend that's been going on now for a year, but in spite of it, they continue to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow.
Well, and the interestingest thing is they own Instagram as well. So if they are going to Instagram, Facebook isn't losing, if you will. You know what I mean?
Right.
They still I think between the two platforms dominate everybody else. So they're not I don't think hurting it at all by any stretch.
No, I don't think it's hurting, but again, who knows? Because
right.
one of the reasons that they said that Facebook is going away in that article is because the amount of political banter that's happening in social. But personally, I don't have an issue with it. I mean,
Right.
I posted yesterday about Colin Kaepernick, just asking to see if it would affect, just like the conversation we had. It, of course, went down a rabbit hole into a totally different area, but that was that.
Right.
So let's start with picking up from last week. So why don't you shoot some of the questions out?
Yeah, well,
people had, and if you have any questions, by all means, please post it, and we'll be happy to get to it as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah, a few people were.
Jody said you need to suck up to Mindy Weiss if you want high-end parties.
Yeah.
So,
working on it.
Okay.
No, just kidding. No, a couple people asked us about some more tips and tricks with Instagram, and so I thought it would be worth kind of talking through, and just because we didn't get a chance to get to all of them. But one question was, how do you build your following? We talked about good practice, posting tips, but truly to build your following count. Is it necessary? Does it give you more validity? Do you think it helps increase that? And what's the right way to go about it? Would be B. What's your take on this? And then I can give you mine.
I think that yes, it does matter. But here's the whole thing that a lot of people fail to understand. They get too discouraged when they don't get instant gratification. All right, and they need to stop that. Okay, we all want the post to go viral, and we're the smartest people in the world that day on Facebook or Instagram, and you want 100 million people to like you. But I think that truly the thing you have to do is it's like working out. I remember working out a long time ago, but it's a daily chore. You have to do it every single solitary day. I just took over doing social media with Premier Bride Chicago, and I'm helping out Premier Bride National. And they were posting once a week on Facebook. And I said, the Knot is posting 14 times a day on Facebook. Like this just can't happen. Like, you have to be posting minimum regularly. As a national magazine, you have to be posting somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 4 times a day, minimum once a day, and start ramping your way up more and more and more and more.
Right.
And I think Instagram, same thing. And the nice part about Facebook is you can schedule so many posts that are just going to be necessary. Your happy Labor Days, your 9/11s, your happy Halloweens, your sweetest days. Like, if we're in the special event industry and that, there's nothing wrong with pulling a JPEG and posting it and scheduling it. So you can schedule 30 of them a year. You can schedule up to 6 months. So I think you can schedule to about March 1st right now on Facebook. So you can schedule your Merry Christmas, your Happy New Year's, whatever. And if you think about it as a DJ, if you want to engage people, middle of December, you can find a JPEG about Christmas carols or Christmas songs and just say, what are your 5 favorite? Post below.
Right.
And just go from there.
Right.
Now, Instagram is different because there isn't the scheduling. There's reminders, but there's that. But I think that really what it comes down to is consistency. And when people see you popping up in your feed over and over and over and over and over again, I think that that's what the brand is going to be.
And you believe that is also going to gain you the followers?
Yes.
Is by the consistency of the posts.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
So, marketing's a numbers game. And so I think that, again, the more you post, and again, it's got to be quality, though, and you have to use the right hashtags. Mm-hmm. There's a DJ that you and I both know that I'm floored that he hasn't figured it out, because he posts probably 3 times a day. And they're quotes that he's created or that he's repurposing or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally doesn't have one person liking his stuff, but he's also not hashtagging anything. So if you're not hashtagging it, you're pretty much invisible to anybody that might be searching for a specific topic.
Right.
And so, you have to throw in at least half a dozen to, a dozen and a half hashtags, depending on the type of topic that you're talking about.
Right.
So.
Well, I think we're on the same page as far as the validity of having followers. I do believe that people look at that and that is a sense of credibility. If people feel like they're following you, clearly, I believe also that has to be almost authentic followers, if that makes sense, and not bots. Which it's kind of like you made a great analogy just a minute ago about working out,
right?
And I think it's the same way. Like there's shortcuts to getting abs, they say,
sure.
And there's shortcuts to getting followers. Yeah, yeah. And people can smell that stuff out quickly because over time that stuff doesn't last. And where you really see that, I can look at an account and go, okay, look, they got 10,000 followers. They must be somebody. And then you look at the engagement, which is the second piece of that puzzle.
Correct.
And if it's, 2 or 3 likes to 10 likes, then it's clearly, it's bots. At least that's my thought going
Correct.
into it.
And it doesn't take a genius to figure out if you click on some of the followers,
right?
You're from from the United States. If you're seeing that 90% of these people that you're randomly clicking on are from India,
right,
or Southeast Asia or Russia,
and what that does is not only does it not discourage me from following you, but now your whole brand is discredited in my case, in my mind. And so I go, well, anything these guys say, I'm not going to follow. So I think it's really important. So your technique was to post more frequently to get followers.
But also good content. You can't just randomly post anything.
Okay. Okay.
So I think
valid.
I think it needs to be topical. And I'll tell you, I just posted on Facebook. I posted a picture of Burt Reynolds with Lonnie Anderson. And I will find one of it. Here, we'll grab one of it. What did I write? We lost the bandit today. Rather than mourn his passing, we thought we would celebrate the loves of his life. Burt Reynolds was twice blessed in marriage, once to actress Judy Carn, who received most of her fame for being a part of Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, and then later in life to actress Lonnie Anderson, who received the majority of her fame from being a part of the cast of WKRP. Now, the reality is, I talked to, we're in the love business. The marriage is about the love business. And so it's topical. I tied it into him being married twice. And
where was this posted?
I posted it on, it's on Marquee. It's posted on Premier Bride. I've got it on my Keith Christopher, my Aberdeen's, my Fred Fox. And so that's that. And just on my own personal page, I've got 3 likes and here 86 people reached, 5 engagements, 13 clicks. They clicked on the picture itself. So, but again, it's a matter of consistent. This one might not be the one,
right?
But the next thing I may post about, I don't know, having theme colored cupcakes, on Premier Bride or on one of my bridal show pages might be the one people go, oh my God, this is amazing.
Right. Well, I to an extent, I agree with you. I think part of the problem can be that you can send your couples, or depending upon who you're trying to target. Now, if you're doing it your personal page, that's totally different. But if it's your business page and you're just posting things because it's topical, at the end of the day, once that topic goes away, that stuff's permanent on there, especially when it comes to Instagram. And now all of a sudden, when they go through your feed and they see this stuff on that, they're like, what? I don't understand. Like, this is a DJ company and they're talking about Burt Reynolds. This has nothing to do with, like, that does not move the needle for me.
But here's the thing, I talked about it. It's about love. I mean, we're in that business. And so I talked about the loves of his life. So, and people could see, like, and it said right on there, we lost the bandit today. So anybody that sees it goes, oh, okay, he's a wedding DJ, which is what I am. And, that's it. So I'm not scratching my head over that. If I had chosen to talk about Colin Kaepernick today on my business page, totally.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like, just because it's topical doesn't necessarily mean it's relevant to be posted, I guess is
correct.
What I'm saying.
I agree. I totally agree. But I think that a lot of DJs should have put something about Aretha Franklin up when she passed, because
absolutely
she Right. And the fact that she happened to pass on Elvis's, the day that Elvis passed, was a little bit spooky, intriguing, interesting.
Right.
Well, and so I posted that fact as well.
Right.
And again, rather than it looking like every other, every other post about Aretha Franklin dying, I had a call it a 1% solution spin that made it a little bit more interesting, made it more topical, and was like, oh,
right.
I didn't know that. And that's right, when, especially using Facebook, when all of a sudden people are sharing your specific post.
Right.
So it's when you're onto something and they're not just taking and running with it. So that's all.
Well, the other thing with that too, you mentioned consistency and all of that kind of stuff. And with that, I think the same thing applies to trying to grow followers. One of the things I've been doing is, every day during lunchtime, I take about 30 minutes and I start going through my followers to see who I'm following, to see if there's new people I can follow. And I'm just diligent in it. And it's not going to be something I'm going to grow overnight. I'm not trying to follow 15,000 people in one afternoon. I'm trying to build it the right way.
Sure.
And so, all I can do is just share my own experience which was at the beginning of the year, I was at about 1,200 followers, and I've grown to about little over 5,000 in 9 months now. And I haven't taken shortcuts. Like, I've been diligent in looking at it almost every day, trying to make sure that I'm following people that I think I would want to follow. And in turn, they have either followed me or, it's because of the hashtag or whatnot. I've been more conscious of trying to make sure that my following count is growing.
But you're also working. You've got 2,377 posts.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So again, looking at this, and again, this is a style thing. You have a picture of your little pooch, your cute little rat.
Right.
That's on here. But it's got 361 hearts and 7 comments.
Right.
I'll be the 8th one saying gas that thing. No, I'm just kidding. But and it's interesting because if you know who Jasmine Star is, she's a very successful photographer turned social media guru. And she talks quite a bit about letting people into the inner sanctum and giving them a peek behind the curtain, which is kind of what you're doing here. If you're a company, like if you're specifically a multi-app, that might not be quite the same. And personally, that's one of the big pet peeves of mine, to be honest with you.
Is that what? Is what?
I can't stand. I like seeing John Doe's kids' first day of kindergarten on their personal page. When they mix the two, and 1 minute they're talking about this great wedding they did last weekend, and then the next thing they've got pictures of their kids' first day of school. I think that I think they've got branding issues going on. So,
well, it depends on, I guess, the kind of business. If it's a small business where the owner is the face of the company, to me, as long as it's not like dominating their feed, and every now and then I get a personal glimpse into their life, even if it was Facebook.
Again, that's why I said if it's a company page, though, like you are Brian B. But
no, I'm saying like if Facebook themselves, if I was following Facebook as the account, and all of a sudden Mark Zuckerberg decided to put a picture of him and his wife up there on the Facebook page. Not on his personal page, and maybe that's a bad example of Facebook. It's probably not a great company, but let's just say Coca-Cola. If Coca-Cola, all of a sudden I saw that it's Valentine's Day and they decided to highlight some couples in their company, them and their spouse or whatever, like, I wouldn't be mad about it. Hey, they're trying to be realistic with the holiday of what it is. They're showing a little humanness. It's not all about their product. Now, if it was every day that I'm seeing couples on their page, I'd be like, what does this have to do with Coke? But to put 1 or 2 on there, it gives the company a little bit of more human feel than just all product stuff.
So let me ask you a question then. Your multi-app, forgive me, Boogie Boys,
B-Boy
Boys,
excuse me, B-Boy Productions,
right?
Mm-hmm.
The question being is, did you post pictures of your dog on that?
No, I don't.
There's a personal glimpse of the owner.
Right. It should be. I should be practicing what I preach when I come to that. I'm right now, my focus on Instagram is definitely my personal brand and not my company brand.
Okay.
Because I've got a separate market I'm going after with that one. So I've been putting a ton of focus into that.
Okay.
But if I was focusing on that brand, I wouldn't do it all the time. But yeah, I would throw it out there like, hey, you know, it would just depend. I mean, you'll see that more with name brands. Like if you go to CC Johnson's, another one who is, you know, one of the best marketers in the event space. She's constantly got stuff of her kids and stuff on there, but she's the name, she's the face behind her brand. And so it makes sense because it's kind of her name. Whereas if it's a company name like, you know, Marquee Entertainment or something like that,
Sure.
it's not Keith Christopher Entertainment. You know what I mean? It's like it's a different.
No, but
it's a different
I could see if it's Bring Your Dog to Work Day and you've got the whole office doing it. I get it.
Right.
So, so Jody's got all kinds of questions. So, but
I got one.
How do you feel about bathroom selfies?
How do I feel about bathroom selfies?
Yes.
I mean, I'm kind of indifferent. For some, it works. I mean, I guess I did have a fad for a while, but I still see it out there, here and there.
From anyone other than Jody?
Oh, I forgot that's her thing. That's right.
It is her thing. And I have this anti-bathroom selfie because that's where people poop. So there's no. And the crazy part, like I've said this before, she says Brian's taking one. Yeah, we know Brian's taken a poop. We all have. At a certain age, you just do. No, but the thing about it is that I just think that she works in gorgeous hotels, gorgeous casinos. I don't know why she's not taking a selfie in front of some incredible water fountain or whatever.
Right.
You know, I just to me, time and place, you know,
right.
And that's where I don't agree with it.
So someone asks, how do you handle social media exposure and how can you do more promoting of your business to hit the target audience you need? What?
Pay for it for one. And I don't have a problem with that.
To hit the target market?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Facebook has specific targeting very inexpensively that that you can target market if your market is engaged couples, certain ages, certain zip codes. It's very easy and you can do a lot of targeting. When I targeted Marquee, it was people who liked Shove DJ and Mobile Beat and Promo Only and people that have logical what a DJ would logically be following is who I tried to target.
Right.
And that's what I went after.
Makes sense.
So, yeah.
For me, I think it's a combination of, you know, if you wanted to do it free, you know, going and finding people who are following those certain hashtags that you use, especially if we're talking about Instagram, and then posting relevant content to that effect. I don't think I'm not one to really pay for stuff when it comes to advertising. Just not my style, because I feel like whenever I see those sponsored posts, I almost get annoyed. Where like I'm not gonna like this post because they're just
you're old.
Nah, I don't think so. I think younger. No, I don't think so. I think it's more the naivete of the older folks that would. It's like the guy who says that they've got $1 million for you to claim. You know who believes that stuff? Senior citizens. Very rarely is it the young kid that's like, oh my gosh, I just won $1 million. No, it's those that are unaware, especially when it comes to, you know, technology and stuff like that. I feel the same way about sponsored posts. Young kids know that. They can smell that stuff from a mile away. I'll never forget when I worked for Pioneer, we had this, we were a karaoke company when I was there initially, and the DJ community in particular, when they were started to sell DJ gear, they decided to, you know, use our karaoke salesmen who were in their 60s, you know, trying to talk to DJs about the coolness of DJ gear. And it was terrible. No, they could smell these corporate sales guys from a mile away because there was no way they were that. And I feel the same way with a sponsored post. This generation knows when that happens, and you're not going to see as much traction on an organic level as you would that with true action going to it than you would if they happen to stumble across it. Like I said last week, people want to feel like they found you, not that you found them. And I just believe that that's what the young folks these days are going after. Because I'm that way too. And I'm kind of a tweener,
Gotcha.
so I don't think I'm, in the old guy category. I'm not the Burt Reynolds fan club like some.
Good. He's not. He's young and rude, is what he is, folks.
Get off my lawn! Get off my lawn!
Exactly. My God.
So somebody says, let's see here. I had somebody who had a question. I can't find it now.
Well, here, Ron Kronbush said, "I don't pay a lot for advertising on social media as well. I get bookings from Facebook without paying for it." So now I'm going to call Ron out. So Ron, tell me, when you say you get bookings from Facebook, does that mean you get a lot of, like, how many jobs per year will you get specifically from Facebook? That's what I want to know, since you're the one who put it out there.
And if that's his business page, I'm curious if it's business page or personal that he's getting those from.
Right.
Because, I mean, Facebook business, the algorithms are against you in more cases than not.
You know what? They're not as friendly as social, but that's because, again, the platform was designed to be a social platform. Okay.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that it's not that easy to be seen as a business page these days on Facebook unless you've set your notifications to want to get that content.
And he's got it on his personal page, which means that you're really not getting them. Ron's really not getting them from Facebook. He's getting them from friends of his.
Right.
So Facebook is just giving them a reminder.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. So, Ron, I'm going to have to give it the Simon Cowell X on that one, that you're not getting them from Facebook. You're getting them from people you know. There's nothing wrong with that. You're just using Facebook as a reminder.
Right.
It's no different than you could say that you're be getting them from emails if you chose to make a monthly email newsletter about Ron Kronbush, greatest DJ in his area. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way that it's being used. I don't really use my personal page for business. I share when I'm on here, but overall, I don't want to shove my business down my friends and family's throats.
Right.
And I find that to be more annoying than paid ads. That's my own personal opinion.
Right.
So,
well, especially if you're, I hate the people who post the same thing to their business they post to their personal. That's like frustrates me. I'm like, pick one and have it be the place that you put it. Don't, if you share it every now and then, if it's something spectacular, great. But if it's regularly going on both platforms, why do I need to follow both? And I literally unfollow those accounts where that happens because I don't need to be inundated with it twice. It just is jacking up my feed. So I think
crotchety. Again, I'm the older one, and you're the one complaining all the time.
No, I'm just giving.
He's complaining.
No, I'm trying to give you truth serum here.
If
trying to give you some truth serum.
All the complaining.
Yeah,
he's Mr. Complainer. He's the one yelling at kids to get off his lawn, but he doesn't have a lawn because he lives in New York. Somebody tells me it's like the Odd Couple. Now I'm dating myself. You're Felix. I would be Oscar.
The Odd what?
The Odd Couple. Exactly.
Never heard of it. So somebody said, well, I never know what to post. And I think you can we've talked a little bit about playing off of what's happening currently, but I think you can also use what's trending and as far as like hashtags and things like that on the daily. I mean, there's Monday motivation, there's Tuesday tunes, there's Thankful Thursday.
Okay, I'm going to give you a timeout. See, to me, those are bullshit things, because you might be getting lots of love, but are you getting them from the right people? Monday motivation is such a generic term that you could be a mechanic with a great outlook on life.
Mm-hmm.
You could be Brian B. Like, it's still going to pop up. See, for me, I'd much rather stick to hashtag Chicago disc jockey, hashtag Chicago.
Oh, no. I'm sorry if I misrepresented. I wasn't saying you don't use some of those things. I'm just saying to find content. If you had something like I saw something today. Content. Well, a good example would be I saw somebody post today. I think today wouldn't have been the best day for it. Probably would have been Monday, Motivational Monday. But somebody posted a Jazzy Jeff play on the Nike ad about. Did you see that at all?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see who. posted that, but somebody did one on Jazzy Jeff, basically saying just DJ, just let us DJ, basically, and don't come up and make requests. Let us do our job, basically, was what it was. But it was kind of a play off of, it could be a motivational thing. So I liked it, the fact that it was DJ related.
Here's
and it had to do with their industry.
So it's a black and white of him like Colin Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do hashtag Jazzy Jeff on Instagram, folks. Believe in the DJ, even if they don't play your request.
Right.
And then underneath it, where it would be just do it, it says just let us DJ.
Right.
So it's cute.
Right. Yeah. So to me, if you were going to put that in a motivational, and you hashtagged it Motivation Monday, you put in there your Chicago DJ, whatever. I mean, I'm not saying maybe that's not a great example, but what I'm trying to say is that if
you're kind of sucking wind today, I got to be honest with you. I'm getting carrying this whole show.
If you find something motivational, but it's in the vein of your industry, and it's a quote that makes sense for that industry, then you've got some content there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm helping you or not, but I'm trying to give this guy some direction on trying to figure out what else to post out there. I mean, you can kind of play to that to an extent, and finding things within your, like a Tuesday tune, a tune that you're digging is personally, puts you and your brand into the focus of what you think is hot or what you're currently into at that moment. Right. And so it's not only is it on trend, if you want to call it that, or on day with what the hashtag is, but then you're also giving your own personal personality when it comes to music choices, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. I hear you. I just pulled it down. I'm gonna post this Jazzy Jeff thing on our
you're welcome
on our Facebook. Well, I'm just the kids are gonna ask for it, you know.
Yeah,
the kids are gonna ask for it. We got to give them what they want.
Let's see if that does better than your bandit post. I'm gonna say probably so in the marquee world. Let's just see.
There we go. I'll talk. Yeah, probably, but it's more controversial too. That's probably why.
I mean, is it Jazzy Jeff saying that DJs want just let us DJ?
It's a spoof on it. Lighten up, Francis. Good God. Again, somebody didn't get enough sleep.
No, that is true. I didn't get a lot of sleep
until the fallback happened.
Right. Exactly.
So, here we go. Marquee Show Express or Marquee Show Community. I'm going to post it here because I'll say this: group pages for discussion are definitely, the place to put it. So let's toss this bad boy in here. And if you guys want to help me just beat Brian just for the sake of doing it, feel free to post and like the living crap out of my post about the bandit, because it's still very sad that we lost the bandit. And this was a picture of Lonnie Anderson and her finest. Mike Garassi liked it. So, go to Marquee Show Community, join the group, and we'll go from there. So anyhow, moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on to more questions, more different things.
Well, I just know that was a biggie, was trying to how to grow your following count was a big one that we didn't cover last week. And I wanted to make sure to touch on that. What are you doing as far as so you're not really doing Instagram at all, really, right? You're not using the stories.
I'm not using stories.
Right. And what's your reasoning behind that? You just
here's the thing. I feel like people are trying too hard when they're doing stories. I really do. I mean, I like the concept of stories if you're that interesting. I gotta be honest, I'm not that interesting. Okay.
Do you think that's age?
No. Because I find younger people not that interesting either. So
no, but obviously, if it wasn't something that people were interested in, they wouldn't have it as a feature. Clearly, people like that kind of stuff, right?
But okay.
Remember, put yourself in your bride's eyes, not yours. You have to remember that.
And I'm telling you, like I'm going to log out. I can't do it. I'll have to do it on my phone because Instagram Stories doesn't pop up on
the web,
on a desktop. Yeah,
you're using a desktop. You don't have a laptop?
Really? Seriously? I'm going to shove my desktop up your ass in a minute. All right? You just drew me to use profanity. John, I'm sorry, but he's being a capital douche.
Are you putting in your floppy too?
I'm going to put my 3 1/4 in your ass.
You got your DOS prompt?
Let's see. So here we go. I'm on my Windy City wedding show, and what if I have absolutely nothing at all. Okay, so here's Rishi Patel, who you know.
Yeah.
Okay, Rishi Patel is an amazing designer from a majorly large firm here in Chicago. Okay, absolutely mind scrambling how good this guy is.
Yeah.
So his post or his thing was, when you're homeless and spicy gumbo girl at the Langham, Chicago, take you in for the night. And so he must be having some work done on his home, or I don't know, maybe he sold his house. I don't know him that well, but again, here's my thing. I don't care. Like nothing about that is interesting to me.
Right.
Here's another one from Papery. I'm saying around Papery Bakery. And it's not, the whole thing is not in English. It must be in French, and I don't do French. So let's see. You know, let me log out of this. I'm going to go to Marquee, and I'm going to see if there's maybe something more DJ related from DJs that we probably know and that the show's followers may know. Right now, Jody's getting nervous. So, okay. So here, Marquee, Boom Tour. And all right, hashtag picture time. And it's a bunch of kids at like a school pep thing. Cool. I dig it. Here's Jack Bermeo. Now Jack is a DJ Times DJ of the Year award winner.
Mm-hmm.
And his big thing is he continues to talk. And now he put that it's 91 degrees as he's talking, and I obviously have it muted. And again, and this is nothing against him, because there's a lot of people. I don't know that I find the behind the scenes things all that interesting. Now he's got video of someone he's having dinner with on her phone. Again, I don't care.
Right.
And again, here we go. He's at the Liberty House restaurant.
But then
again, these are all videos, so I don't care.
But I think that's an age. That's what I think is like an age thing.
No, it's not. It's
personality thing, man. I'm telling you.
No. Okay. So DJ Nick Spinelli.
Yeah.
He had a client prep thing. I dig that. He's
but why? Why do you dig that?
Because I think it's business related. Like, I look at it from a business thing. Okay. Now, again, this is his personal feed. He's obviously at the Eagles game.
Right.
And so he's talking about doing something. The guy also cracks me up. I think he's effing hilarious.
Right.
So Vesper Sporting Club. I don't know what this is. So it's got to be something. Oh no, he's DJing something. Maybe he's DJing the Eagles game. I don't know.
Right.
Again, which is on video, he's DJing something. I'm guessing
a party.
Yeah. For the Wedding NBA. Don't want to miss the next Wedding NBA. Register now. Oh, that's sponsored. DJ Mighty. Again, let's just say we moved down. Okay. Don't care. Again, most of tailgate shit. Great. Don't care. Don't care.
So here's a suggestion for you. I want you to put out a poll on your Facebook page tomorrow that says something along the lines
of, Jeffrey Scott Gold, well-known SCE DJ, picture of Burt Reynolds on his stories. Okay. So it's very relevant so far. And here's a picture of him walking his dog.
Okay. And you care? And do you not care about him walking his dog?
I don't care. I could care less.
So what I would love for you to do, just to prove to me that you are correct and I'm wrong, I want you to put out a poll and see how many people like Instagram stories and how many people do not.
But but hang on, it's a very clear reason as to why they don't. How many Instagram users are there that post daily compared to how many people post stories? There's no thing to even talk about.
What do you mean? From the standpoint, you think that the posts are more than the stories?
Of course they are.
You are high. You are high, man.
You're telling me that there aren't
more stories than posts made in a day, guaranteed.
Okay, I'm doing some searching now. Now
it's
on, baby.
I mean, look how many people for Nick Spinelli's that he just did. There was 5.
No, I'm not doing that. That's a specific person.
Well, I'm just saying in general. That's just one guy.
Okay, here we go. Daily Instagram.
And I'm talking about individual.
Okay, here we go. Daily Instagram users were, according to this, as
Jody says, I see more stories than posts. Boom.
But okay, well, that's great. Jody also takes pictures where people poop. So I don't know what to tell you. Okay, she's the only person I know out of the 2,500 friends that I have on Facebook and the thousands of people following or whatever on my various things. She's the only one that posts pictures where people crap.
All I'm saying is that it would not be a feature that people would it wouldn't be, they would take it off if people weren't using it. And I think
again, my question is, are they using that as much as they're using posts? And I'm going to say no.
Yeah,
so there's 191 million. Okay, according as of June, there's 191 million daily active viewers. Okay. Mm-hmm. How many Instagram?
I think it could be way less scientific than this, though. I think if you just put it out there on a post and you say, comment below, do you feel Instagram stories is useful for your business and that people care? Yes or no? I guarantee you will have more yeses than nos. That's all I'm saying. And I think you're an anomaly of somebody who's like, I don't care.
But here's the thing. I acknowledge, I think Snapchat is just stupid. It's just stupid. And Instagram stories is essentially Mark Zuckerberg's, what do you call it? It's his way of copying Snapchat because he couldn't buy it. That's what it comes down to.
But my point is this. If you are a business and you're not using that because you don't like it as the business, you are not thinking with your customer in mind. Your customer loves that.
No. That is okay, but here's the thing. You say my customer loves it. My customer likes good content just like everybody does.
Right. I'm not saying
again, putting out content just for the sake of putting it out, like again, using Jody, I don't think that I can't imagine most people like her brides going, oh, I think it's great. You're taking pictures where people poop. And again, more people, I'm the one who tells her that I'm against it. I think there's a ton of people that just don't tell her.
Right.
Okay. I get people all the time that argue with me about why am I political on Facebook? I'm political on my personal page, not on my business page. I have nothing whatsoever on my personal page. I don't friend my brides. I don't friend my bar mitzvah clients. I don't friend my corporate clients.
Right.
Okay. That's that.
I guess all I'm saying is that I do believe that you're missing out an opportunity for your company if you are not using the stories side of things there, because that's the thing that people are going to browse quicker than they are the post, because it's really quick. It's instant hit.
But obviously not, because I'm an Instagram user too, and I'm not doing it.
But you're not your client. You're not your target client. You're not looking for a 50-year-old or 67, whatever it is. You're not looking for that kind of groom and bride. You're looking for a 29-year-old, 25-year-old bride groom kind of clientele that is using that. So I think you're missing an opportunity to be able to market to them. And again, I go to saying, put it on a post. Let's see how accurate it is instead of just guessing. Let's get some real data.
Let's do a poll. Okay. I'll put together a poll. I'll have John put it on DJ Distracky News. I'll put one on Marquee. And you put it. Oh, wait, you don't have anything geared toward the DJ industry.
Not at all. No.
I don't know. I don't know what you're going to put it on.
No, but I don't need it. I mean, I think you doing it on those two platforms would be suffice. I'm totally good with that. And you probably have way more sway than I do on those platforms because they're your people. But that's okay. I feel that confident in my take that I believe the Instagram stories is where brides and grooms are residing at this point when they first log into Instagram. Now, do permanent posts have a place? Absolutely, because that's your permanent feed because they eventually leave. But you're not even thinking about all the useful.
But here's the funny part. Okay, so Joe Bunn just did a podcast on this very network, and he talked about Instagram stories. And Mike and him talked about it, and he said he doesn't get nearly the traction on Instagram stories as he does on Instagram, on posting it regularly. DJ, that's him, and he loves putting himself out there.
Say it again. He doesn't get as much traction on his stories as opposed to his posts
as he does on his regular posts.
On Instagram, he's saying this.
On Instagram, yeah.
Interesting. Well, it may be because, I mean, when he says he's not getting as much,
folks? That's the air going out of Brian's balloon.
No. It needs to be quantified. It needs to be quantified. When he says he's not getting as much action, that doesn't mean. I guarantee you, his views are higher because it's tracked. You can tell what your views
are. Why wouldn't he say that? He's again. You'd have to listen to the podcast,
right?
And if you listen to it, that means there'll be 3 people that's listening to that podcast. I mean, it's not nearly the power of Casey and DJ Brian B. Right.
It's not as riveting, that's for sure.
That's for sure. You know what's funny is I had one person already on Facebook that goes that I think it's great that these two guys are arguing. Troy Michael, I love how these two guys are so different. Makes for entertaining show.
Well, thanks.
And if we were in person, I'd be smashing a chair over you, and Jody be screaming.
Right.
So.
So let's see what some people are saying here. I've been doing stories more than pics. People usually follow you first before they start watching your Instagram stories. So there's somebody who's your Instagram.
Okay, time out. So here's my question for that person. I do Instagram stories more than pics. The question is, why aren't they doing both? Because if the audience, if there's 2 different audiences, if I'm not an Instagram story audience, but I am a post audience, why wouldn't you post it in both places?
Because one is permanent, which is like your commercial, if you will, whereas the other one's more raw behind the scenes. That's why you wouldn't post as much. You wouldn't post.
So the only reason you wouldn't make it permanent is because it's not that interesting.
No, it's not that. It's that it's permanent.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's more raw. So you're curating. It's like saying, well, why don't you just put professional pictures on your stories? Well, it's supposed to be raw. That's the reason for it. It's supposed to be raw.
Or that's how you use it.
No, it's I would say not just me. I think that's kind of it's the BTS. That's where you go to put that stuff is in the stories. You don't put your BTS stuff on your permanent feed on Instagram because it lives there permanently. So that's where you can kind of
delete it.
I mean, you could do that, I guess.
Kind of
somebody goes,
whole argument.
I'm going with Brian on this. People enjoy living vicariously through us. They want to know what we're doing today. Exactly.
You know who does that? People who live in their parents' basements. That's who.
Yeah.
Ron writes, it's more real to people. I got a show once a week where I'm real for an hour. I don't need Instagram stories of me pooping and calling Jody in the process. Just don't need it. Don't need it.
Well, yeah, there you go.
It's 9:03. Should we do yet a third week, or should it just be next week? Tune in next week where Brian and Casey just kick the shit out of each other about something else. He calls me old, and that's that. And we're not that far apart in age. We are in weight, just in age.
Well, it was good. I mean, hopefully we gave some content and wasn't just all banter. Hopefully you guys got some things out of that. But if you have more questions, definitely, I mean, thank you for tuning in and for sending us messages. And
I had one guy who came up to me at Atlantic City at DJ Expo. Said, I love your show. I love how you just like to fight with people. I'm like, I don't fight with people. I'm a lover. Now go get me a drink, you bastard.
There you go.
No, he goes, I like it when you go on a tirade. I'm like, is it really a tirade? Is it though? So
that's awesome.
So that's that. So now forgive me because we didn't talk about this. Our next week, are you with us? Are you not with us?
Let me check that. I think I am.
I think I am. A new co-host?
Nope. that would be the week of the 13th.
Record. Yeah. Lucky Thursday the 13th.
Yep. Yes, sir. I will be there.
You're in town? All right. So tune in, folks, as Brian and I once again fight about something else. But
be checking the poll that he puts on his marquee page and let the people speak, as I say.
We'd put it on Brian's, but Brian doesn't believe in Facebook anymore.
I'll put it on my personal. That's fine. I'll
put it up there.
All right.
Up there.
Sounds good.
All right. So what exactly? You know what? I'll follow yours and we'll go from there. You post it up on Facebook. I'll cut and paste it and I'll put it on the others. John will cut and paste it.
All right.
So John, are you with us, buddy?
Yep, I'm here.
Come on over. Say hello, John.
There he is.
I am here.
How did we do today? Was it a good show?
Good. I actually picked up a line that Brian gave earlier because he was giving real content tonight. Make people feel like they found you instead of you finding them when you're talking in that whole social media world when you're marketing out there. I thought that was a great thought process.
Well, there you go.
So,
well, help me with my poll. So that way we can.
I don't want to touch this.
John's got the biggest following out of all of us.
Yeah, that's true.
He's got 96,000 or 99,000 people on Facebook.
That's true.
It would be jaded though, because everybody on Facebook is old, according to you.
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
You say it all the time. He's like, Facebook. Why don't you just go to your MySpace page and promote your cassette tape sales?
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Well,
so all right. Thank you all for tuning in while I ramble, and that's that. So, yes. Anything interesting going on this weekend?
Me personally?
No, somebody else. Yeah. Who do you think I'm talking to?
No, I'm headed to Dallas for the Knot Workshop on, it's actually the Knot Experience. There's 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So if you're in Dallas, would love to see you there. I'll be spending one of the parties and also at the show. So that would be, it's at the Four Seasons in Dallas. So I hope to see some of you guys there.
Nice.
Very good. I will be at the Holiday Inn at the buffet this weekend, having brunch. No, I'm quiet this weekend, actually. I'm rearranging the warehouse on Sunday and handling some other stuff, all administratively, but no performing. How about you, John?
This weekend actually is kind of an off weekend, but I'm going to be doing the test people have been asking for, the Evolve 50 versus the RCF J8 system. The two hottest array systems out there right now.
Now, did you have to do a poll for that, like everything that Brian wants to find what's one's better?
Well, I put it up on MySpace, and it's kind of slow right now, but I'm hoping to pick it up after the show.
Yeah. That's the only thing Justin Timberlake has purchased, I think, that has touched that has not turned to gold.
Yeah. So, how are you testing this? Are you putting it with the same song? Like, what's your metrics?
I'm going to do the same song. I'll probably do a couple of frequency things at a tone at certain frequencies, and then I've got a high-end Rode microphone, a studio microphone, a boom studio mic that picks up frequency from top to bottom. So we're going to set that up and use that as a recording device and see what we can capture.
That would make for.
Go on, sorry.
I'd make for a great Instagram story if you want to put it behind the scenes and put it in your Insta story. Ooh,
yes, I have.
Yeah, and
we can,
maybe
you can't even tell how many people if it's gone in 8 hours.
No, because you can add it to your highlights.
Oh, right.
Do some of the Instagram TV things? Do they always go over to the stories?
They can't. They do not go to the stories. Those reside on a separate piece of Instagram. So yeah, no, but it is permanent. The Instagram TVs. But the only negative with that is that you have to go horizontal. You can't go vertical. I'm sorry. You have to go vertical, not horizontal.
Yeah, because when we introduced this on our channel, the Instagram TV Disc Jockey News channel, at the Marquee Show. So we were shooting the video and had the iPad, and we're shooting vertical there, and it worked actually very well. And then after we were done, we took the videos and then we put them up on the other social media outlets, and they had some really good numbers.
There you go.
Very good numbers.
Speaking of good numbers, we must have gotten to at least 8 people today. So thank you for all 8 of you that have tuned in. We appreciate it. So you folks have yourselves an amazing night. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you,
Thank
Casey.
you, John.
Thanks, guys.
Good night, and God bless. We'll see you all on MySpace. Bye-bye.